Hello and welcome to Froggity Frog Crochet and this stitch guide on how to crochet the diamond stitch. So this is a stunning stitch that never fails to impress and is made by using front post stitches, so all the texture is on the front of your fabric. This is one of the more challenging stitches, but it is worth the effort, and I would recommend that you have your stitch markers on hand to help you with your placement. So to start this stitch, you're going to need a foundation chain in multiples of 4 plus 2 plus 1 for your turning chain. Okay, so before I start the diamond stitch, I've put a stitch marker in the first chain from our hook because I'm going to be using the turning chain as the first stitch of the row. So in the third chain from my hook, I'm going to make a single crochet. Okay, so because the turning chain counts, that single crochet is the second stitch of the row. And then I'm going to make a single crochet in every stitch across. So row 1 is just single crochet in every row. And we need this row to set us up for our diamonds because we will be working back into this row later. Okay, so the diamond stitch is made of front post trebles, and we work those trebles into the stitches 2 rows below and actually around the single crochets. Oops. Sneaky hair there. So single crochet in every row for row 1. Just get to the end here. And last stitch. There we go. Row 1, single crochet. So now we turn. Chain 1 and make a double crochet turning chain in the first stitch. I'm just going to pop a stitch marker into there because that counts as the first stitch of our row. And row 2 is all double crochet. So for every row of front post stitches that we make, there will be a row of double crochet in between. So these will sit behind our diamond stitches, those nice front post trebles that are going to make up our diamonds. So row 1 is all single crochet, row 2 is all double crochet. Row 3, we start making the actual diamonds. And the diamonds are actually made over several rows because we have to make the bottom half of the diamond in one row and then the top half of the diamond in another row. So this is a 4-row repeat for this pattern. So we'll just get to the end of this row and then we can get our diamond started. And then the last stitch of the row is into the top of that turning chain that we started with. And there we go for row 2. Okay, so turn, chain 1. Now the first stitch of this row is actually going to be a front post treble. And it's going to count as a stitch that would go into the first stitch of the row. But front post trebles, take that out of the way, we don't work into the stitches, we work around the posts. So even though we're not working into the stitches, it still counts as a stitch. So yarn over twice. And we're going to be working around the single crochet in the row, in our first row. Okay. So the easiest way is actually count the stitches in. So we're going to count in by 3 stitches. So the first single crochet, second and third. And we're going to be making this front post treble around that third single crochet 2 rows below. So hook through that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm going to pop a stitch marker into the top because that is our first stitch of the row. So in the next stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. And you're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well. Okay, so my top loops are rather loose there. I find it really difficult to make tight top loops for treble crochet when I'm making videos. So I'm going to ignore that for now, but hopefully it will be tighter. So after the 3 single crochet, we're going to be making a front post treble 2 together. Okay, so it's counting these stitches at the bottom where you're going to put your hook around that single crochet post that makes the 3rd row so difficult. Get through this row and it gets a lot easier because it's going to be much more obvious where your stitches go. So what can be really useful is if you go along the 3rd row, that bottom row of single crochet, and mark every 4th single crochet out with a stitch marker. So between every front post stitch, there's going to be 3 single crochet, then the next one you're going to make a front post stitch. So then mark that stitch, count 3 single crochet over, mark the next stitch, and it's going to make this much easier if you mark this out in advance. And that's pretty much the only way I can make this stitch, is to mark out where the stitches of the 3rd row need to go. Because single crochet, especially if your tension is tight like mine, they can be difficult to pick out. So now I've done that, I'm going to start the front post treble 2 together. And this is where we start to make the zigzags of our diamond stitches. Okay, so after those 3 single crochet, yarn over twice, and I'm going to start the first front post treble 2 together around the same stitch that we finished our last treble. So I'm going through the same post, I'm going underneath where my last stitch was worked, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Leave the last 2 loops on your hook. And now we're going to make the second part of the stitch around the next stitch I've stitch marked. So you count 3 single crochet across, and then in the 4th, or around the 4th, you're going to make the second part of your front post treble stitch. So yarn over twice, push your hook around, post of that stitch. Now I'll take that stitch marker out, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You'll have 3 loops left off in your hook. Now yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And that is a front post treble 2 together. If you do have loose loops on top like that, don't worry about it, they're going to get hidden. That's the good part about this stitch, those loops will end up being hidden. So to carry on, so we look at the back. So that's the last stitch we worked a single crochet in. That's the stitch your front post treble is sitting in front of. So our next single crochet goes in the next stitch here. So single crochet into that stitch, and then make a single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well. So between each front post treble 2 together stitch, you're going to have 3 single crochets made. So now we've made that stitch, you've got the bottom half of 1 diamond here, top half of 1 diamond here, and we're going to keep on zigzagging across the row. So now we've done those 3 single crochet, it's time to do another front post treble 2 together, yarn over twice, working around the same single crochet 2 rows below that we finished our last treble in. We're going to make another one here. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, leave the last 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice, skip over 3 single crochet 2 rows below. So I'm going to the one I've already marked out, push my hook around the post, take my stitch marker out, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left on my hook, which is right because it's a front post treble 2 together, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then we made the other half. So looking at behind to check where our next stitch is. So there's the stitch that our front post treble was made in front of. So I'm going to single crochet in this one here, and then make a single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well. And this is the pattern we repeat across the row. So one more, front post treble 2 together, starting around the stitch we finished our last treble. Leave the last 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice, skip over 3 stitches, so you skip 3 single crochet, then finish your front post treble around the next single crochet. And then when you've got 3 loops left on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, check the back, and then make a single crochet around into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. So we've got 2 stitches left. So we need to finish this row. So to finish this row, we're going to make a front post treble. So we're not doing a 2 together, just a lost front post treble, and we're going to be making it around the same single crochet that we finished our last one. We just do a regular front post treble. So once you have 2 loops left on your hook, pull through those last 2 loops, and then make a single crochet in the last stitch of the row. And that is row 3 of the diamond stitch. This row is simply awkward because of counting those single crochet and where you're putting your stitch. It can be quite frustrating, so I really recommend marking out with stitch markers to make life much easier. Okay, so row 4. We're going to turn, chain 1, make a double crochet turning chain in the first stitch of the row. Just move my stitch marker up. And then we're going to make a double crochet in every stitch of the row. So nice easy row in between all those front post trebles. So for the diamond stitch, all of your texture is on the front. Okay, and the flat is perfectly flat. So the back is perfectly flat. So it's a one-sided stitch. It can be a bit of a challenge, but it always looks stunning. Yeah, so don't worry about those open loops on the top of the trebles. They will close up in our next row. Grab some more yarn. Double crochet in every stitch. Last one. Oops. There we go. Right. So there's row 4. Row 5, we're back to making trebles. So you turn, chain 1. Make a single crochet in the first stitch of the row. Put a stitch marker in, and then make a single crochet in the next stitch as well. Okay, so now we're going to go straight into making a front post treble 2 together. We want to make the opposite of what we did in the row below. So the trebles down here, we started with a single treble. We're going to be starting this row, row 5, with a front post treble 2 together, and that's going to make sure we get the top of our diamond. So we're making the opposite of what we did in row 3. So yarn over twice, hook around the post of the treble. This is why it's so much easier to make this stitch after row 3, because instead of having to hunt around for those single crochet, we're going to be working around our front post treble posts. It's so much easier to find your stitch placement. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Leave the last 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over twice, go over to the top of the front post treble 2 together, and you're going to push your hook through both, under both posts. Okay, and this is why it doesn't matter if you have loose loops, because this is going to tighten them up. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, leave the last 3 loops on your hook, and then pull through all 3 loops. And there we have a completed diamond. Just like that. So check the back. So there's the last stitch the single crochet was worked in. Our front post treble 2 together is in front of that stitch. So we make a single crochet in the next stitch. And then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So the start and end of row 5 is different to row 3, but the pattern in between is the same. Front post treble 2 together, and then 3 single crochet in each of the next stitch. So to carry on, yarn over twice, and working back around the same front post treble that you finished your last stitch in. Again, we're pushing our hook under both posts. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So leaving the last 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over twice. Go to the next set of posts, and again you're going to push your hook under both posts. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. 3 loops left on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So working around those posts has tightened up the top of the ones below. So my loose loops are hidden. One of the best parts about this stitch. Okay, so after we've done that, we need to make a single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then our next front post treble. So that's the pattern you complete to the end of the row. Front post treble going under both posts, 2 rows below, and then a single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. And you're going to repeat that until we get to the end of the row. So 3 single crochet. Okay, so I've got 1 front post treble 2 together to go. So the last front post treble 2 together of the row, the second half is going to be made around that single treble at the end. And then you'll be making a single crochet in each of the last 3 stitches. Okay, and that is row 5. So after row 5, you're going to have a complete row of diamonds. But there's a couple more rows in the repeat before we finish. Okay, so row 6, we're going to turn, chain 1, make a double crochet turning chain in the first stitch. move up my stitch marker and then make a double crochet in every stitch across. Nice easy row between those fiddly diamonds. So the repeat for this pattern ends on row 7. So all of your even rows are double crochet rows and are going to be on the back. All your odd numbered rows are your treble rows and are going to be on the front. Sure, the top of my stitches are getting looser as I go. Never mind, they're all going to get hidden because we work around those posts. So all good. It's just very difficult to make tight top loops because of the position I'm in working under the camera. So normally my stitches will not be that loose. And double crochet in the last stitch and turn. So row 7. Row 7 is the last row of the repeat. And it's essentially the same as row 3. It's just that we're not making anything into single crochet. So row 3, we're not making a single crochet at all. Got caught up with myself. So our first stitch of this row is a front post treble. So yarn over twice, working around both posts of the trebles 2 rows below. And we're just making a regular front post treble so we can work into those last 2 loops. That is our first stitch of the row. So then we're going to work a single crochet into the next 3 stitches. 2, 3. And then we can start our front post treble 2 together again. Yarn over twice, go around both, underneath both posts of the stitches 2 rows below. Do the last 2 loops on your hook, yarn over twice, over to the next pair of posts, hook underneath, yarn over, pull the loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Then a single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Yarn over twice, working back round the same posts as the last stitch. Yarn over, pull the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, do the last 2 loops on your hook, go to the next pair of posts, get your hook underneath, yarn over, pull the loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Yarn over twice for the next one. So you continue that pattern all the way across. So this is a nice easy repeat to remember. It's just how your rows, how your treble rows start and finish that you need to make sure you're keeping track of, to make sure that your diamonds all work out right. So it's a fiddly stitch, but after row 3 it gets much easier. Okay, and then to finish this row, we're going to do a front post treble around those last 2 loops. So just a plain front post treble so we can work into those last 2 loops. And then you're going to make a single crochet in the last stitch to finish the row. And then is the diamond stitch. So to carry on with this stitch, you're going to be repeating rows 4 to 7 until you have as many rows as you need. And there is your stitch guide on how to crochet the diamond stitch. I would love to see what you make with this stitch. Please do come and show us over in our Facebook group, Froggity Frogs Ribbed and Stitch. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well for more crochet stitches, free crochet patterns and hints and tips. And if there's any stitch that you would like to see a guide made of, please let me know in the comments and your video could be made next. So thank you for watching and I shall see you next time in the next video. Bye for now.